Hi, this is Sana Farzeen and welcome to India Today. I have with me the team of Sabar Bonda. Rohan, I'll start with you. In January when I spoke to you, you had mentioned how a friend had told you life is hard but filmmaking is harder. What do you have to say about it today and the filmmakers and actors? Do you agree to what he said?
I think it's still right, but somehow I got a really good support and all these people who have joined the team. Like, of course, till the Sundance, I had my producers who made it happen. And then Rana sir came on board and he's distributing the film. Similarly, we got distribution in US through Sand Releasing. We have Paris-based sales company MPM on board that's doing global distribution. And now True Spirit here, and now all these EPs, this release has become even more stronger. So I just feel lucky that through all these people, I can see my dream coming true, to coming to the theatre with my feature film. So it is of course hard, but sometimes dreams come true, and I think that's why I also say believe, because even before you start working on the film, you have to believe that you will make it. So I think I believed, and finally that's happening, and I'm just happy about it.
Amazing. All three of you, do you agree to that life is hard but filmmaking is harder?
Think of a politically correct answer to that.
I'm wondering whether there is a politically correct answer. I don't think there is a politically correct answer.
I want to know, understand.
Well, when you choose to make films your life, then something, the lines get very blurred, na?
Yeah.
Okay, matlab, everything. So the answer to that is try and not make filmmaking your life. Maybe filmmaking needs to be the means to live the life that you are choosing to live or whatever.
Amazing.
But it's very difficult, because for us, my wife, when she says, when I start shooting a film, she says, don't come home, yeah, please. आप घर मत आओ, you are a different animal. आपका language change हो जाता है. I have to start interpreting the grunts. No, we stop talking, right? It becomes so. I mean, there's a lot of truth in that statement.
I think what's hardest is living a life after having made. Because your regular life, I think as directors, and I think we would all know this, is that you're a dictator on set, actually, because everybody's hanging on your every word.
True.
हाँ बोला तो हाँ, ना बोला तो ना, red बोला तो red, blue बोला तो blue. So when you go home and with wife and daughter and stuff, you say something, you're expecting people to listen. They don't listen to you. You're like, this is life. So being pulled back down to earth is very hard and very necessary.
Ron, what do you remember of the Sundance moment when your name was announced?
Shaking.
Okay.
Yeah, I was shaking, and I didn't know what I was saying. So जो भी कुछ दिमाग में आ रहा था, I was just saying, and I think it took us almost a day to realize or to come to normal state. Yeah, because we were not really expecting it, and then suddenly when you hear something like that, and when you are on the stage, like Sundance, it is something that shakes you in a good way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I remember, shaking throughout.
Amazing.
That you can hear that in my voice also, because I was shaking so much while giving that acceptance speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right.
It was good moment.
Yeah, and all four of you, I think anyone can take it. For the knowledge of our audience, what does an EP actually do in a film like this, which has already been made? I mean, what are your jobs profiles like?
Just giving it. Our job profile is just giving them interview. I wish it was only that, but then Neha will send you a message at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it will continue. Right? Can you do this? No, our job is just, see, I think that I can speak on behalf of Vic and myself, right? In the sense that we've done Bakshu Bandi together, and we've done Stolen we did together, and we are doing this. And I mean, I was saying that earlier, we have a group amongst us called Stolen EPs.
Okay, interesting.
So which funnily that group has now got very different meanings also. So Kiran, myself, Vic, Anurag and Vic have been doing it for the longest of time. They were doing it when they were running Phantom also. They were doing it constantly. They've been doing it. I mean, they've been encouraging young voices, young filmmakers, independent voices, independent filmmakers for the longest of time. like Anurag likes to say, "ये bhag about me, वो bhag गया था, वो वापस आ गया." You know, so our job is just amplification.
Yeah.
I think that Sai said it also earlier in the sense that this is a film that talks about love and needs as much love as possible.
Absolutely.
We are here to just do that.
Amazing. But Vikram, how important does it become for filmmakers who've established themselves to kind of empower young filmmakers like Rohan?
It's necessary, and not just that. I think we're happy doing. I think it's been nothing. And I've said this before. Like nothing. I love filmmaking in my life. I love directing. I think the most, but producing comes very, very close because of the pure satisfaction you get to see a new voice come out and really kind of like put themselves out there in the world. And when that succeeds, it's like it's such joy. And I think that's the same thing over here. You see something that moves you and that you really want to, you know, so every time we sort of come on board, it's either like, oh, this film needs a voice to support it, or you love the film and you want the world to sort of like feel exactly the way you do, and or, you know, so I really enjoy it. I really love it. I really like newer, it's nicer, the newer voices and filmmakers and stories and stuff you get to see, and if they get out there and the day Rohan starts shooting his next film, I'll be very happy.
And talking about perspective, young filmmakers like Annapurna just won. There was Payal and Shuchi last year, and now Rohan, of course. Do you think it can change the discourse of Indian cinema, these international awards, this international audience? How do you look at it?
100%. I think it's been a fantastic 2 years for Indian cinema. If you from the global and the big festivals, not even the small ones.
Yeah.
I mean, Shuchi won last year. Rohan won this year. Nagraj was at Cannes this year. Payal was at Cannes last year. There's been a presence at every festival, and it's not just about just screening there. It's about actually going there and making a presence felt, winning awards and coming back. And 100%, I mean, we needed to translate. I think it's important for us to translate. And I think it's been an exercise we've done. This is the third time this year that Nick and me are being on the same.
Right. And
I think that it's also, I think, probably been infectious because we've got Sai and Nagraj on board as well. So, chalo yaar, karte hain. It's because it's important. I think the audience here should, and I don't think either Rohan, correct me if I'm wrong, has gone and made this film saying I want to make this for a foreign audience. I think our intention always, and please speak for yourself, is that always to make it for your local audience first. And I think that's always will make. I know I speak for myself, it'll make me the happiest always when my film sort of like does that. And I think that's true of, you know, all of them. So I think that to push it as much as we can to get an audience that watch it is.
Yeah. But Nikhil, since you guys interact with international market, I mean, India was usually looked upon as the land of snake charmers and elephants. What is the perception like of Indian cinema in international markets right now?
Oh, it's very different. I mean, I have never had to interact with the international market for indie cinema. I really haven't, and that's something that I am now learning about and meeting people and really trying to figure that out. For us, it has always been diaspora, right? It has always been ki, matlab, do you have Shah Rukh Khan in your film, right? It's so. I mean, I think that whole snake charmers and this thing that has and that's why I find it so gratifying that Sabar Bonda actually gets the thing, because it's not only about what you perceive India to be like, right? In the sense that otherwise, I mean, wohi slum, wohi all that kind of stuff. So here's a guy. It's just a film. It's a beautiful love story.
Absolutely.
You know, it's a queer love story, and so international market per se. Really, for me, has always been hello, you know, kitne achhe gaane और kitne matlab, how much can you spread your hands on the Brooklyn Bridge, right? So for me, it is not. This is all new. This is very, very new, and I'm just loving it.
Right. I was about to ask, do they look beyond Shah Rukh? Like, how is it when you interact, maybe Vikram, with international audiences?
Nikhil, I think both of us, and this is probably a question better for Rohan, because both of us, I think, have been we've been very local producers. I've never had a foreign producer or been through a lab or been through a grant for any of my stuff. I mean, I've always somehow managed to raise the money locally to make things.
And in the cases of the films that you do, which are mainstream, there's always already a price which is determined, right? ये actor का या ये star का पिछले 4 film का ये international ये था, तो maybe this with this new ये director के साथ, ये music के साथ, ये actor के साथ इस time पे release होने के लिए you will get 10% more, 15%.
Right.
So those formulas are all set in terms of mainstream international distribution, which more or less is being done by the person who's got the distribution rights. Right. So I mean, I think it's very, very different. It's extremely different. People like Guneet have figured it out.
True.
And Kashyap knows it very, very well. So even when we used to be discussing for Stolen, he would say that, you know, to the extent that let's do English subtitling for this market and don't do it for this, don't do it for this, because these guys already they don't like watching with subtitles. So he knows these kind of stuff, right? I mean, for me it was an eye opener. I mean, he knows every this thing because he's done so much of that individual country में इतने में पैसे इतने डॉलर्स में बेचना है, इसको इधर बेचना है, which is huge, which is massive, you know, which I think they did with gangs and all that, right?
Yeah.
But you know, actually, even though I went to all these markets and stuff, we didn't get any grant from there. Finally, the people who made this film are all Indian. All my producers, Neeraj, Mohammed, Kaushik, Naren, Sid, Jim, and the distribution that finally we got here. And now all these people. So we are all at the end of the day Indian. So finally, film was made by Indian people and here. So we didn't get any support from there other than the Lebanon market, because I mean, as we were talking about protecting the vision, but that's what it was. Even at markets, there were some suggestion which was from that side and how you should show this, you know, and all that. But then I was like, no, I'm not doing all those things.
Amazing.
Because someone was so fascinated with banyan tree and he wanted that banyan tree in the film, and I was like, but why? I don't want banyan tree in the film. And he said, no, but this is specific to Asia, and you know, you find it only there. And I'm like, sorry, I'm not fascinated with banyan tree the way you are, and I'm not going to show that.
Amazing.
So you have to know what you are making. You know?
Truly. Inside, there's so many actors who are now transitioning into producers. Tell me, does it mirror their desire to back and work in such powerful stories?
100% to back, yes, of course. I think to back a new voice, to be a part of something revolutionary is a great feeling. It's a priceless feeling. Also, to be more resourceful as an actor is another feeling, but it has sort of a silver lining of selfishness. But I'd say the bigger picture is to put your motherland on the global map, put your cinema, Indian cinema, on the global map, and that's what we are striving for. I have always looked at a bigger picture, so I think people who think sort of similarly in a similar manner, that's why we all are here sitting together, and we are very happy that we are backing such a strong, amazing voice. And we want to do more, and we will not leave any opportunity that comes our way.
Absolutely. And Rohan, Sai, and of course Nagraj sir, I mean, tell me, earlier regional cinema, especially Marathi, was kind of shaded. It wasn't as celebrated as it should be. How do you look at it right now with a Marathi film going ahead and winning in Sundance?
It's a huge achievement, but sir, correct me, बहुत लोगों को अभी तक पता नहीं है कि
इस फिल्म के बारे में बोल रही हैं आप?
ओवरऑल भी बिल्कुल ओवरऑल
मराठी फिल्म में ना
I think Saira changed a lot, of course, लेकिन अभी आपको लगता है कि अभी भी
श्वास
से शुरू
in
हुआ.
the final 10 shortlist of Oscar.
उमेश की फिल्म में थी, सैराट भी बर्लिन में थी, फैंड्री थी उससे पहले, और बीच में अविनाश अरुण की कोर्ट थी,
राक्षस भी थी सनडांस राइटर्स लैब में.
तो ये बहुत सारी फिल्में मराठी की मतलब अच्छी फिल्में हैं जो दुनिया भर में कुछ ना कुछ करती हैं, और ये अच्छी बात है. मुझे ये अच्छा लग रहा है कि इतने सारे ये सब दिग्गज लोग जो आके एक फिल्म को प्रमोट कर रहे हैं और देखने के लिए बोल रहे हैं, और जैसे तैसे हो, लेकिन ना मुझे लगता है कि अच्छी फिल्मों को प्रमोट करना चाहिए, देखना चाहिए. बिजनेस की बात अलग है, लेकिन कभी कभी एक अच्छी फिल्म है, नहीं तो हम बात कर रहे थे कि बिजनेस तो होते रहेगा, लेकिन इसमें ना अच्छी फिल्में कहीं छूट जाएंगी. निखिल सर कह रहे थे कि जो वो करना चाहते थे वो कोई कर रहा है ऐसे. उन्होंने कहा कि मैं 15-20 साल पहले ये करना चाहता था। तो हम सबको कभी कभी लगता है कि हम मतलब अलग ही प्रेशर आप पे अभी शुरू हो जाता है। और सक्सेस ना बहुत खतरनाक चीज़ है, मतलब आप सक्सेस मतलब मान लो अगर ये सक्सेस है तो ना आपके सिवाय आपके बारे में दुनिया सोचती है, आप सोचते नहीं हो, आपको सोचना ही बंद कर देते हैं। आप सोचो मत, हम जो बोल रहे हैं वो करो
जी।
तो ना वो बहुत डेंजरस ये है जो अभी ये है जिस माहौल में रोहन है और ये सबसे बेस्ट है कि आप लिख सकते हो, कोई इंटरप्शन नहीं कर रहा है, कोई आपको अपेक्षा नहीं जता रहा है कि तू अगर फिल्म करेगा ना जाके अभी संडांस कांस में ही जीतना है। अभी ये प्रेशर इसको था नहीं, लेकिन इसके बाद आ जाएगा। लोग बोलेंगे रोहन कुछ बनाएगा तो यही करना है, और वो सबसे खतरनाक चीज़ है। पैसे कमाए तो बोलते हैं अभी दूसरी फिल्म में भी कमाना चाहिए, तो ये बहुत डेंजरस सी चीज़ है। मराठी फिल्में जो है अच्छा करती रही हैं, धंधा अलग बात है, और ऐसी फिल्में करनी चाहिए, और इसके लिए अलग अलग नए लोगों ने आकर फिल्में बनानी चाहिए।
नो आई मीन ये बिजनेस और ये वो भी है, पर मुझे लगता है कभी वी हैव टू आल्सो थिंक एंटरटेनमेंट। वी पीपल ओनली थिंक इफ देयर इज अ सॉन्ग, डांस, एक्शन, ओनली दिस इज एंटरटेनमेंट। आई फील if a film gives you that calm feeling also, that is also some kind of entertainment. We have to think in that way also. It's like we are living in the city in the fast and living this fast paced life, but once in a while on that long weekend we want to go out of the city, experience that calm and just sit in the silence, right? Some films are like that. So while you watch every day all this web series or all this commercial films, popular films, it's fine, but sometimes when this kind of film comes, which can give you that kind of an experience, like a hill station experience, you can go for that film also and just experience that. So I think if entertainment comes in a different form.
Right. और नागराज जी एक बिल्कुल सही बात कही कि चेस करने लग जाते हैं लोग सक्सेस के बाद। आपके साथ आफ्टर सायराट बॉलीवुड कितना चेस कर रहा था आपको? ऑफ कोर्स झुंड तो आपने बनाई, बट हिंदी फिल्मों के ऑफर्स कितने आ रहे थे?
नहीं ऐसी ये कोई मतलब बड़ी बात है नहीं, मतलब कहने लायक कि चेस कर रहा है कोई, लेकिन लोग चाहते हैं कि हम मिलके फिल्म बनाते हैं। और ये मतलब हम पिछले इंटरव्यू में भी बात कर रहे थे कि किसके नज़रिए से आपको फिल्म बनाना चाहिए, तो ये बहुत मुश्किल है। सर कह रहे थे कि जो आपने कहा ना कि एक बंदे को कन्विंस करना है, तो मैं कभी कभी सोचता हूँ कि जो अच्छी फिल्में बनी हैं, कौन सी फिल्म है ये सोचना और रिसर्च करना पड़ेगा, कौन सी फिल्म है जो एक्टर ने सोची होगी और वो सुपरहिट है। तो ऐसी कोई फिल्म है, या तो प्रोड्यूसर ने सोची होगी, तो डायरेक्टर ही सोचता है। तो मुझे लगता है डायरेक्टर पे भरोसा करना चाहिए। नए चीज़ जो वो सोचता है वो क्रिएटिव है। बिजनेस करना आप जानते हैं, लेकिन बिजनेस तो मतलब फूल ही बेचोगे ना आप विक्रेता हो, लेकिन आप फूल नहीं बना पाओगे। फूल खुद जो जैसे जैसे बनेगा, जो नेचर बने। तो गुलाब को आप फूल बेच रहे हो, तो ये मत करो कि गुलाब भी खुद बनाओ, तो गुलाब को खिलने दो और वो बेचने की सोचो। तो वो हद तक मुझे ये अच्छा लगता है चेस करना। फिर इतना कभी कभी होता है कि कहते हैं ना अलग कुछ मोगरा है या अलग फूल है, चमेली है, उसको ही गुलाब बना दो और मार्केट में लेके आओ। तो ये वाला डेंजर है। और ये ऐसे ना रान फूल जिसे कहते हैं जंगली फूल है, तो ऐसी भी फिल्में हैं जो जिसका भी आनंद लिया जा सकता है। हरदम जो बेचा जा सकता है उसको ही आके बाजार में रखना, ये बहुत गलत बात है। तो कभी कभी ऐसी चीज़ें हैं जो ज़िंदगी में बहुत ज़रूरी है, और अलग अलग मायने में वो बहुत हम सबके लिए एज ए ह्यूमन बीइंग मुझे लगता है ज़रूरी है।
लेकिन हर फूल सुंदर होता है
जी, यही है। लेकिन हम सोचते हैं ना कि अभी गुलाबी है।
This Bollywood, I mean, when you say my regional cinema, and regional cinema has always been progressive. All across, whether it's Bengali, whether it's Marathi, whether it is Malayalam, whether it is Assamese, it's always been more progressive than what we are. And we tend to be the kind जो हम लोग Hollywood बनना चाहते हैं, Hollywood अभी emulating Hollywood. I made a film called Chandni Chole China, it was a disaster, right? But I happened to go to Burbank in Warner Brothers, and it's very interesting कि उनका नंबर 1 जो डायरेक्टर है, जो ब्लॉकबस्टर उसने बनाया था उस टाइम पे, मिशन इम्पॉसिबल ऐसा कुछ था, ब्लॉकबस्टर फिल्म था, उसके लिए स्टूडियो एग्जीक्यूटिव, जो हेड स्टूडियो एग्जीक्यूटिव कम्स डाउन टू मीट दैट गाय। स्टूडियो, द हेड ऑफ द स्टूडियो डजंट कम, स्टूडियो एग्जीक्यूटिव कम्स। जब when Woody Allen comes, right, the studio head comes down,
right,
very clearly they have a very clear this thing कि ये आदमी जो है वो आर्ट कर रहा है, उसके लिए मैं नीचे आऊँगा। That has to change over here.
Yeah.
Once you change that, people like Yash Chopra and all, they were also very big commercial filmmakers, but they were creating something. We need to go back to that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the attempt is for us also.
Right.
Give voice to guys like this. जब Sundance का मतलब Tarantino has won,
True.
right? I mean, look at the people who have won these awards. You need to but come and say there should be a fight कि आप क्या करना चाहें, and not to आप हमारा ना बट बनाओ, आप बनाओ हम आपको support करेंगे.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Of course. Rohan, you have this backing, you have this support, you have this push, but when a film is releasing in theatres, it will give you butterflies because box office is involved. How do you look at it as someone who's already doing films that can be termed as independent cinema, but getting it released in theatres, does box office kind of worry you right now?
I mean, to be honest, I'm not really thinking about that. वो होना जो होगा वो होगा, but what was in my control while making the film that I can only make an honest film, and I just wanted audience to feel something. So as long as they feel something while watching the film, that's what I'll be happy about that, because as everyone is saying, box office doesn't really tell you if the film is good or not, but if that film stays with the audience for a long time, then you know that you have done something that you really wanted to do, and that's the success that will help you sleep at night as well, I think. But if you have not done a good job, so no matter, वो एक week के लिए या एक weekend के लिए बहुत पैसा कमा लिया, but that film has not really stayed with people, touched people. That is, I think, a restless feeling that any artist will have. So I think I'm more looking for that. I mean, ठीक है, आगे जाके, I mean, maybe I'll get chance to make films that will earn more, but at least at this moment, this film was for a different reason. And I just hope that happens. Audience feels something when they watch something.
As established filmmakers, do you miss those innocent times when you could just go ahead and work for your stories rather than thinking about how it will earn money, will it work production-wise? I mean, when you made Udaan, I'm sure box office was not even in your mind.
It was a similar kind of thing as what he's saying now. Udaan was made with private money. With my only thing is that ये picture बन जाए, एक और picture के बाद बन जाए. At worst case, this is my showreel. I can show people कि ये देखो मैंने picture बनाई. I am capable. I can make a film, and I'm capable of making a film. And it releases, doesn't release. I mean, it had a different. It turned around very quickly with what was UTV back then, and we got a pretty decent release. And to your point, Udaan actually was profitable finally last year. So end of the day, the streaming is kind of like actually made it in a way where Anurag can actually claim it's like there's no debt, nothing. Like it is that. But yeah, to have a film sort of stay in the minds of people for that. Honestly, I try at least as much as I can to work in the same sort of way. Of course, now you become smarter about the fact that you know that utne budget mein utne paise that you will be asked questions about certain things. You have to be responsible about who your audience is, how you're talking to, how you're spending that money, what kind of budget and stuff for that now. But I think the approach I don't think that your approach of making something pure for the joy of it to be able to sort of like do things should change at all in your entire career. I don't think that should at all.
Nikhil, you want to add to that?
It's very tough. It's extremely tough. I think that in my career, it has been Kalona and it has been D-Day.
Yeah.
In both cases, I had nothing to lose. D-Day, people had written me off, iska kuch hoga nahi, khatam ho gaya, she's made Salame, she's made Chandni Choti China, she's made Patiala, nothing has worked. So I had nothing to lose.
Right.
And at Irfan saying, jo bhi kar, masti kar, enjoy yourself, whatever you want to do, we'll see. At Rishi Kapoor was, so we were enjoying ourselves. So I think that's very, very tough. It's extremely tough when you would. But as somebody today, we've made 33 films, and I was shocked when somebody told me that my company has made 33 films over the last 14 years, or 33 projects over the last 14 years. And I think the only thing that we have striven to tell all the people who work with us as directors is that don't worry, Monday you have a job. Monday ko aa jaya, kaam pe aa jaya, fikr mat kar. Don't worry about that. Your life will continue. So as producers, we have to make sure that Friday when कुछ भी आपके कंट्रोल में नहीं. How can you control the fact that this guy has had a fight with his wife and he's come and watched your film, he says shit, it's rubbish. It's his mood. He has come with that mood. He's not coming in that optimum way which you've chosen for him to watch it. आधे लोग तो फोन पे बैठे हैं, कोई ऐसे चिल्ला रहा है, कोई ये बोल रहा है, कोई it's you have no control. So literally, I mean, again, wise words. Irfan to me, choose 100 people. 100 लोग choose कर, वो 100 लोग को दिखा. Learn from those 400 people what you have done right and what you have done wrong.
Yeah.
And then let it go. वो तुम्हारे कंट्रोल में नहीं है. So for that you have to make sure that Friday everything is good. Monday को आप काम पे आ जाओ.
Right, right.
That's it.
Amazing.
That's how you'll keep your voice, as long as you know that the producer is got what he wants. मतलब उसको अगर मतलब पेंट हाउस चाहिए वो अलग बात है. Then he should not be supporting you.
And all three of you, I wanted to ask as filmmakers, there's so much of conversation around happening. Bollywood films needs to be changed. There needs to be course correction on how we treat our audiences, what we offer to our audiences. Do you really think that we need to change, or do you think we are on the right path right now with such kind of films also kind of being made?
You want me to answer?
Vikram is just laughing कि ले लो तुम.
Yeah, there's distrust here. You know, अभी क्या है कि audiences को पता चला है कि साल में 5 बार will come to the theatres and will be made fools of. एक है रिपब्लिक डे, एक है ईद, एक है इंडिपेंडेंस डे, एक है दिवाली और एक है क्रिसमस. हम लोग आएंगे and will be made idiots of, and we'll have spent money, and the children will be looking at their father and saying, why did you bring us for this? हमको पता, हम लोग को पता था क्या है. So when I think that do we have to make change? The writing is on the wall. There's no question about it. Of course, you have to make change. I think whether one has seen Sayyara, whether you've liked Sayyara, whether you've not liked Sayyara, whatever it is, there is a lot of sincerity in the film. Director में sincerity है, actors में sincerity है, music में sincerity है, shot में जो fan blow कर रहा है हार पांडे के बाल में उसमें sincerity है, सब में sincerity. So audience will feel यार superb. मेहनत. That's the most important thing. And then I'm a big proponent कि मतलब वो magic चला गया है यार, light off हो जाता है. And already the point is the person is saying कि मैं गया हूँ, picture flop है, but actor has bought a Lamborghini. How did that happen?
Yeah.
Picture flop है, मैंने पैसे दिए, मुझे पसंद नहीं है, तो उसने Lamborghini खरीद ली. क्यों? क्योंकि हमने फोटोग्राफ लिया जब हम लोग Lamborghini खरीद रहे. This is my new Lamborghini. So you know now everything all these guys are doing. क्रिस्टोफर नोलन का क्लियर है वो फ्लिप फोन यूज करता है ओनली टू मेक अ फोन कॉल. कोई सोशल मीडिया अलाउड नहीं है, कुछ अलाउड नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं अलाउड है. सो द मैजिक ऑफ व्हाट यू वांट टू इमेजिन योर दीस सुपरस्टार्स आर राइट, दीस एक्टर्स हु आर कमिंग ओवर देयर, द मिस्टिसिज्म एंड द मैजिक. यार शाहरुख खान का घर कैसे होगा यार, तो चला गया, मुझे पता है. डेंजल वॉशिंगटन कहते हैं कि इफ यू why will you pay for somebody on a Friday when you can get him for free for the rest of the week? Khatam. Simple it is. Stop the social media.
You can't predict, honestly, no one would have predicted Sayyara being the hit it is. No one would have predicted that K-pop Demon Hunters is the #1 film.
Absolutely.
In the history of Netflix. These are things that you cannot predict. These are things that are when they are made, they will find an audience, they will do it. And you have to keep doing that time and again. No one would have predicted Sairat. I don't think he himself would have hoped that Sairat would have been a success, but no one would have predicted it at that point in time. No one would have predicted that Loka is going to go out and do this. That's what you hope for. That's what you work towards. You work with honesty. You go out there. You know your audience. You make a film from the bottom of your heart, and your team is sort of like, doesn't you go and do it? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But you have to keep doing it in that same single way all the time. You can't calculate those kind of things. And I think that's if this year shown us exactly that. Time and again, the films that are being constructed to go out there and succeed and not succeed, and the ones that are not being done but being made with heart are going out there and succeeding. And what better example do you want that that's exactly what you're supposed to do?
Absolutely. नागराज जी, ऐड करना चाहोगे कुछ आप?
नहीं, यही मतलब जैसे आप जो बनाओगे, मुझे लगता है दिल से अगर बनाया जाए, और हम पहले भी बात कर रहे थे कि ये कोई फार्मूला है नहीं कि, और फार्मूला अगर एक बार हो गया तो वही फार्मूला आप बार बार यूज़ नहीं कर सकते हो, क्योंकि लोगों को शायद वही फार्मूला अगर चोर चोरी भी करे एक ही तरीके से करने लगे तो पकड़ा जाता है. तो यही तरीका है कि आप कितने बार वही अंदाज से आप कहने की कोशिश करोगे. तो मुझे लगता है कि
मुझे स्त्री के बाद लोग फोन करके बोल रहे थे कि मुझे हॉरकॉम स्क्रिप्ट है. आई सेड व्हाट इज हॉरकॉम?
After Animal, people say I have a toxic script.
टॉक्सिक स्क्रिप्ट.
ये हाईवे पे बहुत होता है, गांव में कहीं पे आप जाओ ना तो शहर में एक चाय की दुकान मतलब शुरू हो जाती है और बहुत बेहतरीन चलती है. तो ना सब लोग गांव को बताते हैं यार चाय की दुकान में कुछ दम है,
हाँ.
तो 10 लोग उधर चाय की दुकान डालते हैं, सब फेल हो जाते हैं,
राइट.
फिर गाड़ी उधर रुकती नहीं तो दूसरी जगह कहीं भी जाती है। तो ये यही तरीका है कि मुझे लगता है कि अपने आप में जो क्रिएटिव लोग हैं ना उनके ऊपर भरोसा रखना चाहिए। ये धंधा जो है आर्ट का धंधा है यही कि आप बेच रहे हो, फ्रिज नहीं बेच रहे हो, आप कोई स्कीम नहीं बेच रहे हो, आप एक कला बेच रहे हो।
राइट.
ये व्यवस्था है कि बेचा जा सकता है और खरीदने वाले भी लोग हैं, अच्छी बात है, लेकिन क्रिएट करने वाले लोगों पे भरोसा करना चाहिए। पता नहीं क्या निकल गया है।
The same also happens with, I think, sequels and franchises. I mean, Nikhil, what's your take on it? Because not many have managed to work, but people are still kind of investing in such films. Like, what do you think is the idea behind it?
We are making any franchise. मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि बनाना चाहिए. Accordingly, my answer will be this thing. I don't know. I mean, like Marvel worked 6 films or 7 films worked, then suddenly it did not work. Then so, but I mean. I don't know. I don't know what works.
Yeah.
I think what Vic is saying is absolutely correct. There is, if you are going to start following a formula and saying, okay, I'm predicting this is going to work, then it becomes less of a film and it becomes more of a project.
Yeah.
Right? Now you're making a project. Now a film nahi bana. Aap story ko bhul jao. The story, the vision, the voice, everything becomes secondary. यार अभी ये इसमें ये होना चाहिए, 4 गाने होने चाहिए, 2 उधर होना चाहिए, 1 आइटम गाना होना चाहिए, ये होना चाहिए. So in the case of franchise also, I think that today I can turn around and say that the franchise is not working, but suddenly boom, one thing, part 2, something will work, whatever, and then everything will change. So I think the construct of mainstream anything is about following a formula so that you can make. मतलब एक आदमी ने साबुन बनाया, वो साबुन वर्क करता है तो आप दूसरा वही बनाओगे, दूसरे पैकेजिंग में बनाओगे, वही डालोगे, होपफुली थोड़ा कम ये करोगे, बेटर पैकेजिंग करोगे, बेटर ब्रांड ये करोगे, बेटर एडवर्टाइजिंग होगा, बेटर मार्केटिंग होगा, बट साबुन ही है, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Vikram, but do you think it's also a safe bet kind of, because there is an audience?
I mean, franchises, I mean, a part to a sequel, if your first one's always worked and you have the space for a sequel, 100% sequel always worked. Pushpa has worked.
Yeah.
So Stree 2, there is always that thing of like, and if you make it well enough that people will come in and enjoy it more where they want to go and they'll do it. But it's not always the case. It doesn't always work. Marvel is sort of like shown some point. But again, if you look at the American box office, I think 8 out of the top 10 will be sequels or will be based on some existing IP. I think that they've also realized that there's a comfort viewing of being able to go in and watch a film or a universe that you've seen before because there's a guarantee of that. That's, I think, part of our audience problem also. Okay, kahin na kahin, there's so much of that na, कि क्या picture देखे यार कुछ अच्छा देखते हैं या कुछ मजेदार देखते हैं, something light, like there's always that mentality when you want to go to, there's always that you want to watch something comfortable. So that's also the reason for existing IP and sequels to work. But
Amazing.
There's a balance here. I just feel that the problem is that we tend to trend every single way. ना ये चल रहा है तो सब कुछ उसमें डालो. It's like we're a very very diverse country that likes very very diverse things. Let our films and our series also be equally diverse. I don't think this one size fits all, putting all in the same box, I don't believe is the right answer.
Amazing. Lastly, Rohan, you had spoken about how you wanted to make a film based on dinosaurs in Mumbai. What's the update like? What are you writing next?
उनको आने के लिए थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा because अभी भी इस पे ही काम चल रहा है. So even I feel that even before I start resume writing, I feel this journey was so long and you put all your emotions, mentally, physically, you're putting everything and you get exhausted.
Yeah.
So once everything stops, I want to really empty myself so that I can give same kind of energy for the next one. So वो थोड़ा सा टाइम लगेगा.
Amazing.